It's true. The press thinks Donald Trump is stark raving mad. The Media Research Center counted the words reporters used to describe Trump and found he was angry 23 times, furious 17 times, outraged 8 times. He was also venting, infuriated, livid, erupting, lashing out, on a tirade. The good news, no spontaneous combustion. That's for after the midterms. So why all this language? Well, it's to make you think the guy with the finger on that famous button is bonkers. Absent any harmful deeds by Trump and faced with booming optimism about America's direction, the media is like a pack of cats looking for a sack, out to create a story that fits their own infuriated, furious, eye-bulging narrative. So they traffic in workplace rumors, the stuff that exists in all offices since the beginning of cubicles. Heck, even Jesus dressed down his apostles. But we get it, Trump's no Jimmy Carter. Thank God. I mean, who'd you rather have, a nice guy mocked by the world or a loudmouth who keeps the world guessing and therefore cooperating? Now, Trump's bombastic, but most bosses are. They use their voice like an instrument as a call to action, to wake up the slackers, to get the team to do actual work. That voice isn't there to soothe the concerned or troubled souls in the media. And it's always about the media. They're like ignored teens. And they just hate the new guy who's making them work for their shrinks and drinks. They need someone who makes them feel important by echoing their phony virtues. After Obama, the media got so flabby, they should thank Trump. He's the one who put them on the press room diet, where they eat nothing but their own words. Anyway.
Clever.
That's pretty funny.
Very nice.
Well, let's just go to break.
Okay. Okay, Richard.
I'm kidding. I'm joking. Dana, you made this point earlier, that when they talk about when President Obama would get mad, they describe him as fiery.
But it was always a compliment.
Good thing.
But it was fiery as a compliment. So
Yes.
the thing is with President Trump, he's not boring.
Yes.
Okay, and you know, and the media, you have to figure out a way to make something interesting, exciting. You got to figure out why would somebody click on that? Why would somebody buy that? So with President Trump, they use all the ones that they used. For President Obama, if he was fiery, that was like a good thing because he was finally going to get out there and he's going to show those Republicans. If he was frustrated, that was because Republicans were obstructionists.
Yeah.
Okay, and if he was the worst they ever said about him is that he was testy or he was irritated.
Yes.
That was, and those things were like, that was like the worst they ever said about him.
Well, actually, the birth certificate thing was pretty bad. Jesse, this is my favorite.
I never said anything.
This is my favorite.
Either.
I know, it was just a joke. I was making.
It took me a minute to get it. I'm sorry.
All right. They said the president lashing out. He was lashing out 53 times over 6 months. Lashing out. That's almost. I can't do math, but a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, listen, if the media was calling me a racist, mentally ill colluder, and they were raiding my lawyers' offices, I'd be lashing out a lot, too. But I don't really believe it because I don't think these networks have the type of sources that would actually tell you what the president's mindset is in that inner sanctum in the Oval Office. I remember well, I don't, but I look back at when Bill Clinton was under investigation by a special counsel. The press called him resilient, energized, invigorated, strategizing, passionate. I mean, it's like it really tells you more the adjectives that they use about the media than about the person they're describing. For instance, the media calls me smarmy, sarcastic, all kinds of awful things. But if you look when nonpartisan, real fair and balanced media describe me, they say I'm handsome, insightful, funny. It really just depends on where it's coming from.
Exactly. And but your mom actually said those other things.
That's my mom. That was her.
It's true. But it is true. It is true what Jesse's saying. One, if they followed me around, they could say that I yell constantly, that I'm grumpy all the time, that I sing nonsense songs, and that I mutter to myself. These are all accurate descriptions.
All accurate.
Of
All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
They do a better job with you than they do with my man Jesse. I don't know why. It's not fair to Jesse. But I will say that, to me, there are just too many sources here. So, like, even if you read conservative media, they say this president can be volatile and can be impulsive. He's unpredictable. So I don't know. To me, when you have him described as fire and fury or fear or unhinged. I think these are book titles.
Right.
Gee, there's a lot of people saying this. I don't know.
3 people.
Oh, 3 people. I see.
And many of them are liars. Lying liars. Liars, leakers, and liberals.
And flippers. They're flipping.
flippers.
I've dealt with those people. They're a bunch of crooks. Flippers.
Dr. Sapphire, is there something psychologically wrong with the press?
I love that I always get the psychological questions.
she's
as though I'm
not
a
a
psychologist.
You're not a psychiatrist. Okay. I have a corn on my foot.
Well, the problem
Gross.
I don't do
do
that
actually.
either. The problem I have with this verbiage is it encourages single-minded certainty, and it really closes off all sorts of compromise. Ask anyone I work with, I'm even keel all day long until I'm faced with incompetency. And at that point,
then
you
you get
start to
mad.
see that I get upset. I'm not throwing tantrums, but you know I'm upset. The press called President Trump angry 185 times since January 1. Well, you know what? He deals with incompetency every day. Everything that he campaigned on, there are obstructionists in the way. Healthcare, the wall. We don't have all day, but he's frustrated, and that's why he's angry.
I think he would be. I think that he might like to be described differently. But if you weren't described in these ways, he wouldn't be actually getting done what he says he's getting done. So
Fear helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how I describe him?
Yes.
Stable genius.
very.